Just ahead, a local family continues to search for their brother's killer. Plus, Maryland Legal Aid sets up shop in libraries around the county. And the Terps are in search for their new QB. Those stories up next on CTV News.
Good evening. I'm Byron Scott with the CTV News Update. Thank you for joining us tonight. Well, just days after a juvenile curfew goes into effect in National Harbor, County Council passes a resolution giving the police chief more authority in enforcing it. The resolution gives Chief Malik Aziz the ability to create and invoke curfew zones for residents under the age of 17 at the request of commercial property owners. Business would need to get a letter of support from the county council member who represents their district. Under the resolution, the curfew would not apply to children accompanied by an adult. And it's been more than a year since a security guard was gunned down at a nightclub where he worked in Hyattsville. 28-year-old Alex Lynch was shot and killed March 28th of last year. This is surveillance video taken the night of the incident. Lynch was shot by 3 individuals, 2 of whom hopped out of a red car, and opened fire. Police say it appears Lynch was targeted. 2 other adults, a male and female, were also injured. Today, at a press conference, Lynch's brother Aaron talked about Alex and urged anyone with information about the case to come forward.
It's been total hell without having my little brother around. Like I said, that's my baby brother. So he was the life of the party. So it's been like real downish for it. But we've been trying our best to keep it up, keep us going. So what we want is closure. We want closure. So like I said, if any information, any little bit of information will help to come to a closure. And then for the person that did, turn yourself in. Turn yourself in.
Now, police say the red car which was stolen has been recovered. Police are asking anyone to make information to call this number, 301-516-2512. Well, stricter street restrictions will soon take effect in the state. House Bill 601, which passed the General Assembly, will hit violators of street meetups with fines ranging from $500 to $1,000 and assess 8 to 12 points on a driver's license, depending on whether bodily injury resulted from the infraction. Car meetups involve drivers speeding, doing donuts, and burnouts. Once signed into law by the governor, it will go into effect on June 1st. Angela Alsobrooks receives big support from former Maryland Senator Barbara Mikulski. During an event in Baltimore last night, Mikulski said even though she was the first female senator from Maryland, she does not want to be the last. Alsobrooks has also been endorsed by dozens of local, state, and federal elected officials. Maryland Legal Aid is partnering with Prince George's County Memorial Library System to host tenants' right and housing clinics. The first was held today at the Oxon Hill Library. The clinics are aimed at helping individuals understand and maneuver through the legal landscape. Participants received advice and took the first steps to the legal intake process with lawyers aiding them in resolving their housing concerns.
Anyone that is of low income or is over 60 and has a legal matter that's civil in nature, not criminal, they can contact us and do an intake, and we can see whether we can offer representation. Sometimes it's just advice, sometimes it's actual full representation. Over 4,000 families were evicted in Prince George's County last year, and so we're trying to make sure that residents know we're there and we're available to assist tenants and try to keep families in their homes and not being displaced. Just say in 2022.
The clinics will take place the first Wednesday of every month from now until August. For more information, visit mdlab.org and click on the free legal clinics. Well, a college student from Upper Marlboro was shot and killed just days before his graduation. 22-year-old Miles Gresham was a student at North Carolina Central University. He was shot last Thursday while driving in his car. Investigators say Gresham crashed into 2 other vehicles and was pronounced dead at the scene. His loved ones remember him as a smart and humble person. The university chancellor issued a statement today praising Miles for his dedication and entrepreneurial spirit. And still to come on CTV News, one local community college is expanding. We'll have the details after the break. Stay tuned.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed.
Welcome back. The U.S. DEA has proposed reclassifying marijuana from a Schedule I drug to a Schedule III, but the proposal would keep cannabis classified as a regulated substance. If the White House approves the measure, marijuana will then be classified at the same level of ketamine and steroids. Currently, it's classified alongside heroin and LSD. Some legislators are against the proposal, stating marijuana is a gateway to other illegal drugs. Others say marijuana should be held at the same standard as alcohol for recreational adult use. Marijuana has been legalized in 24 states and Washington, D.C. If 10 more states legalize the drug, advocates could press Congress for passage of a constitutional amendment. Well, Maryland joins 2 other states that provide luggage for its foster youth. Governor Wes Moore recently signing a bill into law that requires that the state's foster children get new luggage whenever they enter the system. The children's rights advocates say the law will give foster kids the respect they deserve. The state of Maryland has 3,800 children in its foster care system. Well, Montgomery College is opening a new education center on the eastern edge of Montgomery County. It will serve thousands of students seeking job training skills and make in-person classes more convenient, while also expanding educational opportunities to marginalized communities. Capitol News reporter Alex Gary has that story.
So I was new to the country, and when I started here, when I came here, and I was ready to join the college.
Zainab Ali came to the United States from India determined to get an education here, and she did at Montgomery College.
So I started there, and then I took classes up to an associate, and it really impacted me because the way Montgomery College helped me with my journey.
Now, 20 years later, Ali is part of the staff helping to expand the community college to the eastern part of the county.
3, 2, 1.
Along with allowing easier access to classes along the eastern part of Montgomery County, Montgomery College wanted to make learning more accessible, especially to communities with fewer educational opportunities.
We wanted to reach a population that has less access to education, the marginalized community. We wanted to reach the immigrant community, the African American, the Latino, the Asian. Most importantly, we want to be right in the middle of the community.
The East County Education Center will provide 11 classrooms, 10 labs, a community engagement center, and even a truth, racial healing, and transformative center.
We look toward to make sure that when students come in, prospective students come in, that they feel belonged, that they feel welcome, as though this is their community, their school.
Non-credit classes are scheduled to begin on May 28th, with credit classes scheduled for June 17th. And Zainab Ali hopes that her educational journey will inspire future students.
At least I can show my story and say how it impacted me and how it helped me through my educational journey, and that will help them also accomplish something in future.
For CNS TV, I'm Alex Gary.
Annual reports and personal property tax returns are now due on June 17th. The Maryland Department of Assessments and Taxation announced that the state is extending the date for businesses to file annual reports. The extension stems from an executive order issued by Governor Wes Moore on April 11th to provide businesses more time to apply for economic relief programs following the collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge. And after the break, we'll introduce you to our pet of the week. Stay tuned. Also, our sports page. Stay tuned.
Hey everyone, and coming up on your Wednesday sports page, Bowie State football coach Kyle Jackson reflects on the team's 2024 schedule, and the UMD men's basketball team adds more depth to their team. Stay tuned.
Breathe. Love what you do and you've already won, my parents used to say. My parents whose smiles were my first finish line, who championed respect, whose resilience built mine. Even more than I wanted a gold medal, I wanted a heart of gold, like the mentors who were my balance beams refusing to let me down, and the coaches who spoke out to anything out of bounds. Heroes who never stood on podiums, but stood up for me. Every shot I made, give the assist to those who since my youth were referees, ready to blow the whistle and end abuse.
The organization Leave No Veteran Behind is hosting an employment event tomorrow at Gaylord National Harbor. The event is geared towards helping military veterans who have amassed mid-management to executive level experience transition those skills to the civilian workforce. Organizers plan to connect the veterans with Fortune 500 companies and industry pioneers.
We've got multiple companies that are going to be there that are going to be supporting our veterans. So Amazon, Care First, Kaiser, Prince George's County, of course, the Metropolitan Washington Airports Authority, Fire, EMS, Navy Federal, T-Mobile, and several others that are going to be there looking to employ veterans. And again, these employers are saying, hey, look, we know that veterans have excellent skills and excellent talent that were paid for by taxpayers through their training. How do we leverage that within the framework of our companies? How do we leverage that to allow for our individual organizations to benefit from all the training that veterans have done?
Leave No Vet Behind is set for tomorrow from 1 to 4 at the Gaylord Convention Center. It's Wednesday and it's time for Pet of the Week. Meet Rain. He's a year-old Rottweiler mix. He's been at the shelter since March. Animal management says that Rain loves to play.
Just wants to play and be around and be loved on and stuff like that. He hasn't learned how to sit yet, but he definitely is willing to be trained. Could be by himself or he could be with other animals. He has interacted with other animals before and they seem fine. So he has no dog-to-dog aggression or anything like that. But someone that just wants to take care of him, love on him, and make sure that he's trained for them.
And if you'd like to adopt Rain or any of his furry friends, call Animal Management at 301-780-7200.
All right, sports fans, we begin your Wednesday sports page with some news from the WNBA. The future seems to be bright in Washington as the Mystics selected forward Aaliyah Edwards in the WNBA draft last month. Edwards is a talented player who played a big role in the Huskies advancing all the way to the Final Four this past season, but they did fall to Iowa 71-69. And Edwards touched on how her time as a Husky and being coached by Gino Auriemma helped her prepare for the big leagues.
I think Coach really prepared me for this pro lifestyle, not only on the court, but just how to handle yourself, like the treatment, the recovery, taking care of your body, all that stuff plays a big part into it. But I think the most thing that I'm going to take away is just, the standard that we held ourselves at UConn, just kind of carrying over that here to the Mystics. I know they have a great group already. We have a great core group of vets that I've been leaning on and learning from. So just bringing that standard, that excellence that I know for being a Husky, but into the Mystics lifestyle.
Moving on to the world of college football, the Bowie State football team schedule was released, and it showed the Bulldogs facing off against a very good team to open up the season. The Bulldogs will travel to North Carolina to match up against Lenore-Rhyne, who is ranked number 4 nationally. The Bulldogs and Bears have matched up only one other time, with Bowie coming away victorious in the matchup 31-10 back in 2021. And head coach Kyle Jackson is looking forward to seeing how his team will perform against such a difficult opponent.
I mean, they're just the next team on the schedule. You know, we go into the game, you know, no matter who it is, it could be the Ravens or the Commanders on the schedule. We're going to do our part, make sure that we execute the way that we need to execute, and we'll be fine, you know. But, you know, Lenore-Rhyne, nothing but respect for those guys, a team that we have seen in prior seasons. I always look forward to playing the top guys, you know. That gives you an idea where you are as a program, and it gives you an opportunity to put your program on display at a high level, you know. So I'm excited about that game opening the season up with those guys.
And sticking with college football, with the departure of 4-year Maryland QB Talia Tagovailoa, Maryland is in search for a new offensive leader. 2023 backup quarterbacks Billy Edwards Jr. and Cam Edge, along with new transfer MJ Morris, competed in front of fans at the annual Red vs. White spring game in efforts to strengthen their chances of landing the starting role. CNS News' Ricky Podgorski has the story.
Talia Tagovailoa's Maryland career has come to a close. The QB was invited to the Seattle Seahawks rookie minicamp, but now Maryland must fill the void at QB.
The guy that wins the job has to have the mind of a coach, but the skill set of a player. And I saw some guys take steps today. All of those guys that played today took some steps forward.
The eyes are on 3 main quarterback options: Billy Edwards Jr., MJ Morris, and Cam Edge. In the annual Maryland football spring game, all 3 had the chance to play in front of fans and prove why they deserve the spot. Edwards Jr., the most tenured Maryland QB, started for the white team. He went 6 of 14 for 36 yards. He was effective on the ground, but struggled with the deep ball.
So it takes some time, right? Obviously, we're coming out here, we're not doing too much. We're trying to just show the fundamentals of our offense, of our scheme.
One QB who connected on deep passes was Cam Edge, who threw for 151 yards, but on a 44 completion percentage, and threw a pick 6. But Edge says he's seen improvement in his game.
I look at it when it looks to try to improve things. I look at last fall compared to this spring. If it looks better, that's a good thing. And then try to improve for summer and going into fall as well. So.
The MVP of the spring game and highlight from the day was transfer QB MJ Morris. Morris did not stand out on the stat sheet, going 6 for 8 on 65 yards in the air, but his mobility and accuracy were on full display.
I feel like I was seeing the field well, just leading my guys, just working on how well can I do each play, not worried about the final product, but just how well can I do each play, getting drives down, putting the ball in the box.
The QB battle is still very much a battle. Head coach Mike Loxley says he won't have a starter until the week of Game 1 next season.
We're a long ways away from naming a starter. As you can see, the competition is, it's hard to tell. They're all talented. They all made some plays. They all made some mistakes.
Ricky Podgorski, CNS TV.
Thanks, Ricky. And wrapping up sports, the UMD men's basketball squad added another player to their roster in Georgia Tech transfer Tafara Gapari. The 6'9" forward played 29 games for the Yellow Jackets last season and averaged 5 points and almost 4 boards. Gapari is the 4th transfer that's been added to the roster for the 2025 season. And that wraps up your Wednesday sports page. Simon Buggs, CTV Sports.
Thank you, Simon. Let's get a quick check now on our 3-day weather forecast. Tonight, mostly clear with a low of 62. Tomorrow will be sunny and hot, hotter than a biscuit. Temps will reach a steamy 91 and fall to 62 at night. Friday, mostly sunny with a chance of showers in the evening with a high of 78 and a low of 64. And Saturday, keep your rain boots and umbrellas handy. Rain likely all day with a high of 65 and a low of 55. And that's our news tonight. We'll see you tomorrow night. Good night.